throwing stuff. Okay, I won't curse anymore.
That's good.
I'll keep tight-lipped. Oh my God. Don't be using those type of words.
All right, here we go. Here we are.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Tanya.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. Here we are, podcast episode
8.
8.
Yeah.
I was told that I got some feedback in the last one that I move around too much. So I'm going to try to stick right here with the microphone.
That's good that you're listening to what customers are wanting.
Well, it's hard.
Or podcast viewers.
And in fairness, I forget who it was, but they pointed out I move around a lot, and I'm already seeing myself move around a lot, but I'm going to try to do that less kind of thing, you know.
But you have to. Look at you're controlling all this stuff here.
I know, it's ridiculous.
I'm just sitting here.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, we have to give me props to just so I can do something.
Okay, so let's talk about. So we have some tea time today, of course, as always. You're going to talk a little bit about getting stabbed in the face some more, and Costco, which is the miracle of modern day beauty and health.
Yes. The Observatory Talk with Brian.
Yes, me. Okay. I'm going to do Observatory Talk. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about some deep exposure stuff I'm starting to work on, and some revelations about sensors and RBI Flush.
Got it.
And also talk about the new microRouter that has come out from Gl.Inet.
Yes, we have that right here.
Pretty sweet.
I know.
Yes, and then we're going to talk some more about some Gemini tips, some more things that...
They're always helpful, always.
Yes, that is true. Well, and also people ask us, a lot of times I bring up topics of things that people have asked us more than a few times over the course of, since the last time we did the podcast.
Got it, because other people are wondering the same thing. They just haven't asked.
Right, exactly.
Are those new glasses, Brian? I like them. No, they look new to me. I like them.
They are new.
Okay.
Well,
I don't think I've seen them before.
They're graduated, so I think they go from distance, and then it goes all the way to sort of 1x, 2x, 3x. So if I look down,
so
I can read.
You have what I have.
Is that what you have?
I have trifocal. Mm-hmm.
Well, these are just like over the counter gobbledygooks. But you can see it has sort of a yellow tint, so I guess they have the anti-blue. There's a pitch about like less blue means less eye strain, which I don't believe at all. But they have a yellow tint to them. Okay.
Well, they look good on you. Very nice. I'm glad you can see better now too.
But we're going to go through. We're going to go through the Gemini tips, and then we're going to talk about
Scott Losmandy making his homemade bourbon and a special cocktail that he likes to make.
Isn't that so? So Scott's going to come on, right? And he's going to basically liquor us up. Yes.
I can always, Scott. I don't know if it's because he might be shy to come onto the podcast or whatever. But if I say, oh, will you come on and show us your cocktail? It's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. I could get him on right away. So I think he likes showing off his mixology, like how he's become a mixologist.
Is it possible he's just looking for a reason to knock off early and get drunk?
Maybe.
Okay.
I hope not.
But we got that. Okay, so now, and by the way, that noise, and people can hear it, but what is that?
Okay, it's the CNC machine, and it's making the we call it the main body to all of our mounts, to the mount heads. And it looks like a little eagle, and it's boring it out, and it makes the sound. And how long we have to listen to this for?
This is like the machines of industry are always running. This thing is going like nonstop. We are machining constantly.
Six CNC machines running constantly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot. But not all the parts make this noise. So we just have to deal with it for a little while, which... Well,
so that's what it is in the background. And now we got tea time, right? Tea
time with Tanya. Yay! Here it comes, Scott.
And they call it tea time with Tanya.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Oh, look, there you are.
That's not the best of me. Oh my God, me being grouchy.
You got tea time.
We got tea time. Okay.
By the way, I actually heard a high school kid say that. It's like, give me the tea.
Oh,
and I was like, I know what that is.
Tea. It's telling me, give me the drama, give me the gossip.
Give me the tea. Like, to talk yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
It is. You know, I'm just some old.
Well, I would always come in and be like, oh my God, Scott, I've got some tea for you. And he's like, tea? What do you mean? So I've let everybody know what tea is. And now you're going to know.
That's a beautiful story.
Right?
Okay, so tea time. What do you got for us?
So we are actually able to shoot a podcast this week because my face is finally healed.
Yes. Face stabbing.
Yes. So, I almost choked on my mouth. Bear with me, everybody here. Pull it together.
It's almost choked on your mint. You know, you might want to just finish your mint instead of talking with your mouth full.
Maybe. Here, turn this.
I finished mine. Oh, you want me to turn it back to you?
Okay, there.
I finished my Altoid.
Okay.
Oh, you just took it out. You didn't finish
took it
it.
out. No, I'm not gonna chew on the Altoid, dude. Those things are rough, right? So yes, my face is healed up now. Thank goodness.
Looks good. Yeah.
They went really deep this time. They started you off at like 0.25, how deep it goes, and I think I'm at 0.75 right now, which is pretty deep. And your face looks like it was in the sun for 3 days straight. That red. It was.
You mean
red.
immediately following this?
Oh yeah, it's so red for days. So and then it peels, and then it's glowing, which hopefully
And
it is now.
we're in the glowing phase now, right?
I hope so.
And what is this
Treatment
actually called? What's the, like, if you go into some place, you ask for
a microneedling. Men
Microneedling.
and women do this. It's not just like a woman's thing. Basically, it's just, our collagen is depleting as we get older, which I'm not. I'm getting younger, Brian, as you know. I'm turning back time. No. So, so microneedling, I like it. I like it. I have some problem areas that I would like to, get better, but I shouldn't have mentioned that because I don't have any problems.
But I have seen, but in fairness, and I'm a guy, right? So I barely, if it's not a telescope or a mount, I can barely pay attention to it. But your face looks very nice. It's like very even, very clean, very good.
That's what it's trying.
You present well on camera. See?
Thank you.
There's your shot. Oh, very nice.
Well, thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. And then as I'm about to tip over this is what I want to talk about next. So I shop Costco, and I found these. They're fit drinks. Okay, there's no sugar in them, and they always what I'm trying to do is burns body fat, accelerates your metabolism.
And what is this now?
It's just a sparkling drink. They have 4 different flavors, but it's supposed to help with your workouts, like your workout.
Yeah, hold it up to the camera there. So what's it called?
It's called
Celsius Live Fit, and it's called a sparkling kiwi guava.
There's 4 different flavors at the Costco thing.
Is this the worst flavor?
No, they're all really good. So obviously with all my juicing in this. What do I ever eat food? No, I do.
You do.
I do. But these are really good. Read the ingredients before you take anything. But
okay, wait, hang on. This is it, Celsius.
Yes.
This is actually. Are you going to drink this?
I like it. I need to go get more.
I can't read this at all. It says no high fructose corn syrup, no aspartame, no preservatives. Yeah. How does it work? Proprietary Meta Plus formula, green tea with
ginseng. Yeah.
Ginger and guarana,
right?
Which is basically natural speed.
Yep. So this will help you, have AFib. Yeah, it helps me. I've been dropping a couple extra pounds. Always trying to do that, Tanya. Okay. And then I do get these at Costco, and Brian has become, when he comes to lunch here, when the Costco ad comes out.
Oh, right.
When we do lunchtime, we talk about things. And I'm such I don't know what's wrong with me, but I like at lunchtime to go through the Costco ads.
Yes, and we actually, so she pulls out this book. It's like a weekly mailer, right?
I think it might be a monthly.
And you say, do we need this? We don't know what we need until we go through the mailer.
I know.
But it is pretty good. I mean, I don't know. Costco has good stuff. It's pretty cheap. They pick the top, couple of products in a category and then just sell the bejesus out of them.
I know, they really do. Now, of course, I bought one of these toothbrushes. Now they have a pink one. Oh, I want the pink one. But whatever, I already have one. I don't know. But yeah, so we go through these things. It's quite fun. Everybody joins in. So that's my tea time with Tanya.
That was beautiful. That's wonderful.
So if you have any questions about Costco, don't hesitate giving me a call about that either. Just kidding.
But you are a believer in electric toothbrush, because I love electric toothbrush.
Yes.
Does Scott like electric toothbrush?
He's electric toothbrush and water pick.
Really?
Oh yeah, and flosser.
Okay, may have to ask him about that.
He
later.
takes good care of his teeth. They say you need to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into a dental episode.
Right. But yeah. It's really important to take good care of your teeth. So thanks for listening to Tea Time with Tanya.
There you go.
Yay. Now we've got Observatory Talk with Brian.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about, it's been a bit.
This is about your Chilean observatory, correct?
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about a lot of things, but generally talk about kind of what it's like to have a, I don't know what I would describe it as, but it's kind of a world-class, telescope
huge
mount.
telescope, right.
It's a,
right.
it's a 20-inch plane wave. Mm-hmm. So my partner and myself, we have it down there.
Okay.
And it's on an astrophysics
1600.
AP. Yeah,
right?
It's a 1600 with the absolute encoders, and it's got. I mean, it's the bomb. It's great stuff. So what I was going to talk about briefly is I'm working on a really deep version of the Helix Nebula.
Okay.
And this is it. This is not the image. It's NGC 7023. This is a hydrogen alpha and oxygen 3. It's an HOO version of the image, but it's just 2 bands of color.
Okay.
So that's why you only get basically sort of this reddish pink and this blue. This shows terrible on our monitor here. It looks okay here, but it's kind of a mess. I mean, this is kind of the first time that we did it. This is on the 17 inch.
Oh, okay.
So I'm redoing it, kind of being a little bit more thoughtful, things like that. But you can see there's some issues in here, like why is this colored and the other parts aren't, and just some other stuff. But the 17 inch has a little bit better resolution, obviously. Okay. But here's the thing I noticed. So this is actually a crop. This whole thing is a cropped image. And if I go to, I hope this is going to work. Let me think about here.
Now, when you say cropped, you mean like you did it as a wide angle and then you pulled that?
It came, probably was this size or this particular image, and then I just used the crop tool and just cut off the parts that didn't work so well.
Got it. Okay.
But I wanted to point out, so this is the M78 reflection nebula that I also took, but up in this corner here, you can see sort of this weird glow. Okay. And this was taken with a monochrome camera. It's a CCD camera with the 16803 chip.
Okay.
Which is kind of a medium format size type of chip. But you'll see, there's this glow here. And what happened was the sensor has some artifacts that has some glow in the corner. And on one of the channels, or 2 of the channels, it just happened to be really bright, and it's not consistent, so it ended up kind of not calibrating out. And this is, if you look at this is in the corner, so this is typically what I would crop out.
Okay, got it.
But here I just wanted to show you an example of this. And the other one, you don't see this only because I cropped it out. But the thing is, in the non-cropped version now of the CDK20, I noticed the SAMP glow, and I was working with, and I just sort of thought that that's just kind of how it is.
Okay.
So I was working with the guy, Ron Brecker. I hope I pronounce his name, but he's a very talented astro imager, and he is available for consultation. So I was kind of walking him through how to process this and getting his input. And he pointed out we need to use the RBI Flush, which I kind of thought, and people seem to be of a different opinion of it, whether you need to use it or not. But he said I should absolutely use it when
Have you heard this term before, RBI Flush?
I have, and I forget, it's like residual something. I should really have remembered this, but at any rate, it's essentially artifacting on the sensor that's left over from the prior image. And what this flush does is essentially it kind of flashes the sensor so that all the wells are kind of at the same level. And again, I know I'm murdering it, so please, if you want to put some links into RBI flushing and all that, that's great. I'm not trying to get into that, but my point is, it exists on the sensor.
Okay.
And a lot of people were like, don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about it. And I just thought this was an artifact of the sensor. And it turns out that, nope, it does actually make a big difference, especially when you cool that CCD way, way down.
Okay.
So, kind of part of this is my
So
learning
an
curve.
RBI Flush.
RBI Flush.
RBI Flush. Is it kind of like rebooting in a sense? Rebooting the sensor maybe?
Yeah.
And then kind of.
Shit, that's
Kind of,
exactly
and then it kind of
what
cleans
it is.
it. Yeah, like if I have to restart my, computer or whatever, it kind of.
Yeah, it kind of resets the wells to all be the same level.
Okay. Okay.
But a lot of times people think that when you buy really expensive stuff, it just kind of works.
Mm-hmm.
It works much better. And it turns out, it does in some ways work much better, but also it's got its own idiosyncrasies. So
Right.
with CMOS cameras, it used to be sort of the earlier ones, and still some now have issues with amp glow in the sensor.
Okay.
And there's ways to work around and calibrate it out. But CCDs have different issues, right? You have to deal with in these higher end CCD cameras. And this is an FLI ProLine 16803.
That's a nice camera.
It's a very nice, very expensive camera.
Very
There's
expensive.
There's other things you need to worry about and deal with. So it's not like things just get easier. They get different.
Right.
They get a
Okay.
little bit trickier sometimes.
Okay.
So we're working on that.
That's great.
I also wanted to point out the new microRouter
oh, yes.
that
right here.
we're using here. So I'm going to...
I'm going to hand. Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
this
hand
is
this
the
to me.
name of it. The name is
Yeah, so just give
Beryl.
me this.
Is
Give me
it
this. Hand me
Beryl?
this. I think it's the Beryl.
Beryl.
I think,
Beryl. Okay.
So we talked a lot about Gl.Inet, Gl.Inet, I think. But at any rate, we have a link to it somewhere here. In fact, I'm going to show it to you right now real quick.
Gl.Inet right there.
Yeah, Gl.Inet. This is the MT1300, the Beryl. So they kind of go by colors as well.
Okay.
But at any rate, so this is similar to the Mango router that I showed. And in fact, actually, if you look here, you can see the Mango router here. This is another one that I've used, the AR750, 750S. This one's a little bit more expensive, right? So it's right now about $76, $77. The micro router is $30. This one is kind of in between, about $70.
And what interested you in getting a new one?
Well, we were if you want to hand that to me,
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
here. So I've been helping set up an observatory up here. And here it is. There's the little device.
Yes.
It's kind of cute.
I think it's totally cute. I told him it reminds me of Wally.
Yes.
Watch when he lifts the ears.
That's the little.
Oh,
I think they're antennas, but ears, sure. Why not?
it's Wally.
But we were setting up an observatory here in the Malibu Mountains, and I was going to use something like this. And I'm like, you know what? It's a fixed observatory, so we don't necessarily need to worry about ultra portability and super low power consumption.
Okay.
Because in fact, if you hand me that,
Oh, that's right. You can plug
maybe
this.
you could just sort of show this.
Here's a super duper.
But this is the power supply that comes with it. It's a big fat power supply. It's still USB powered, but I suspect it probably takes more amperage. And it plugs in back here, right? So it's just the same thing as right here.
Okay.
So it's the same as other ones, but it probably takes more power. It's a little bit stronger antenna, things like that. It's got 3 ports
Instead
2
of
LANs and a WAN instead of the Mango that has 2 ports.
Okay.
And you can actually convert the WAN port into a LAN port, so you've actually got 3 LAN ports if you need that.
Okay.
And it just it seems to be bigger. It seems to be better ventilated, on the bottom. So it's got some ways to dissipate heat, things like that.
Very nice.
And it's got a big fat light thing going on here.
Oh,
so
nice.
it tells you what's going on. It's powered on or not. So I'm going to give it a whirl, actually going up tonight to install this. But I just want to point out that there's another one here, the Beryl. And you saw the picture there. Whoops, Beryl. There we go. And this is it. Right.
Okay.
Seems pretty good so far. I did configure it a little bit. You see, this is scope 1. There's a scope 2 involved in this stuff. You can check it out.
Yeah, I'm going to hang on to it because I might want to see it light up later. Can you do it through USB? We'll see.
Yeah, it's powered on USB. So, again, just another option for maybe a little bit stronger signal. A lot of folks have personal home observatories. They're fixed, but maybe it's a little bit further from the house, and for some reason they want to have that added Wi-Fi power. That seems like a really good option.
No, this is great.
Available.
Thank you for that tip. It's people really they do like the advices that you give them. Definitely.
Okay. So what's next?
I can't talk today again. Let me pull it together. Okay, so we're going to talk a little. I guess it depends on what hat I have to put on. I was going to talk about our other division. We're Hollywood General Machining. We have our Losmandy Astronomical Products division, which all of you astronomers out there know about, obviously.
Right.
And we also have our Porta-Jib division, which is the movie equipment division, or camera support equipment for studios, movies, a lot of things. So we're just
and this is our website here, right?
Yeah, with production, with the pandemic last year, it all it was very, very quiet in that division because nobody was shooting at the time. There's no productions. So now it's ramping back up. And
there's a lot more productions that are happening now.
It is happening, yeah. So which is good. It's good. Everybody wants to work, right? Mm-hmm. So, and if you're in that business, you want to be working. And so we're getting a lot of calls for this stuff. And I wanted to kind of show, we pulled up our Facebook page. If you want, I don't know if you want to do that now.
Yeah,
is
so
that
we can
right?
do that now.
But and kind of just show you guys a couple of sets that we've done.
So this is Porta-Jib on set now that, a lot of times what happens is they finish productions and they can actually release some of the behind the scenes pictures, right?
Correct,
so
yeah.
These might be a little bit older, but they're just
usually it's about 3 years.
Yeah,
until I can get a picture. Yeah, I mean, of a feature film. Right. Like we did Lion King, which I think you mentioned you guys were on that too, and we couldn't see pictures until 3 years later. Yeah. Everything's under NDA. So yeah, that's why you're going to see things from, they'll be older. Some of them aren't, like concerts and stuff we can post right away.
Okay, so this is Mission Impossible. That's Tom Cruise.
There's, if you look down below, I don't know if do you have a thing?
Oh, right here?
Yeah, right here. That's the Porta-Glide right there. They're called sleds in the industry. Mm-hmm. And so what it is Chapman Dolly sits on top of it, and there's the cameraman and or the director sits on top of these and shoots. So this is, I love this movie and the book. This is Girl on the Train. This is Charlotte Bruce Christensen, the director, standing on top of our Porta-Glides right there, the sleds. Great movie. This is Promised Land, Matt Damon. And then you've got the grips in the back pushing. See, those are called grips on the two side, and pushing the director cameraman on the dollies.
There, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mirror, Mirror with Julia Roberts. I love this movie.
It's a beautiful set.
Yeah,
it's obviously all constructed.
Yeah, so they're sliding across. And see how much weight is sitting on top of these sleds. On other sleds that are out in the industry, all the wheels are the same size, and you'll get like a flat spot. And it's hard for, then you'll get those bumps in the images. So these are all different sizes that Scott trademarked. Came up with an idea. And so they're very well known in the industry. This is if Beale Street Could Talk. I think it was up for some awards too.
Right.
There's the director. Mm-hmm.
And then I think we wanted to then move. Oh, wait. Well, there's one other, but we'll go up to.
And here's some, this is our Porta-Jib. This is the standard one. This is on the movie. It's a music video. It's a music video from Mushroom Head. They use all of our equipment on all their sets, or at least the ones for A Wonderful Life.
Yeah, who doesn't love Mushroom Head?
You should see their sets. They do the sets all themselves at their studio. They have their entire studio, and they shoot all their own videos.
Right.
And you should just to see the set. You should watch the video.
Well, you should see their costumes. I mean, they're unbelievable. It's pretty wild stuff.
Yeah, I loved working with the drummer's name. I worked with the drummer. His name is Skinny. That's his nickname. Skinny.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's a Disney TV show. This is our Traveler arm. This is going to be a smaller setup.
That's the same one, right?
Yeah. It's Disney. Do a lot of Disneys. Panavision, which I'm sure you've heard of. Huge in the industry, movie industry.
Panavision is like the premier company that if you're doing a huge movie, that's who you use for a rental house and kind of a camera support house, right?
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. And they order custom. So they have the red wheels, but they order custom sleds from us.
Got it.
Yeah. Here's this is the movie Little Women. So this is a write up in a magazine that they featured the Porta-Glides up there. Here we are doing the halftime show on the Traveler. He's down on the ground, and that's J-Lo.
This is the Super Bowl halftime?
Oh
right?
yeah. What did I say?
You just said the halftime show.
Oh yeah. We do the halftime show at all the Super Bowls. There we are again. This when Shakira. There's Shakira.
Right. Mm-hmm. There we are at
It is
the
in
Super
front.
Bowl.
Yep. Stadium. This was the last one 2 ago, right?
Yeah, I think that was all we wanted to show, right?
Yeah. So that's it. So it's kind of fun. I love doing astronomy because my interest is in space and all that stuff, always has been. But it's kind of fun having a little bit different of variety,
Yeah, because you help out with some of the sales related stuff on Porta-Jib, things like that.
Yeah.
But a question we often get is, so you have Porta-Jib, we have Losmandy, both under the umbrella of Hollywood General Machining. Like which is the dog and which is the tail? Like which is the big part of the business?
I've asked Scott that, and he says sometimes they both are the same, but sometimes one is pulling the other one, and it's just like, so it's nice to have both divisions, because if we didn't have astronomy last year during the pandemic, we would probably had to close our doors. Right. Yeah. Right. So astronomy is a big portion of our business, like a big portion.
Right now, it's by far the majority.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Scott's made a great mount, and the customer service, people are really happy with the customer service and the technical support that you're offering. So
can't believe
and my smiling face. Just kidding.
Can't believe you worked that into somehow. It's like a attaboy for us.
Why not?
Okay. Good though. Thank you for that. So but Hollywood is coming back a little bit. They're starting to do more productions. Mm-hmm. They're ramping things up.
Yeah.
They're ordering a little bit more gear, but it's nice to see that some of these projects and people's livelihoods are coming back online.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, because I know a lot of people, they were having a hard time. A lot of the grips out there, so it's nice to see. Yeah. And people want to see new movies, right?
That's true.
God, remember there was no movies in 2020?
Well, they were all streaming, right? I mean,
yeah, but not even a lot. There's no movies because there was no production. Not a lot.
That's true, but but some of the movies, and it was a big stink because a lot of the people who do these movies, they sign up for points on the back end, right? So the idea is depending on how much money the movie makes, $500 million, $1 billion, or whatever, they get points off that. And when they stream it, essentially, what happens is all the back end money goes away. And so they got really mad, and I think there were some lawsuits and other things about like, well, you took away our profit
by streaming it, by
streaming it. And I'm kind of like, how many millions do you need? At some point is not enough, but that's just me. I'm just an average guy thinking average thoughts. There you go.
If only we had that type of money, right? Yeah. Okay. Now we are going to talk about the Gemini.
Yes.
Is that what we're going to go into? Okay. I know nothing of what you're going to talk about, but I do know a lot about the Gemini. I know enough about the Gemini to get me a little bit in trouble.
You
do. But I'm sure I'll learn something today.
Yes, and you're also going to run our little POV cam too, right? In case we need to look at that. So.
Yes, I'm the POV camera girl.
Well, you're not just that. Okay, here we go.
All right.
So, let's take a look at the Gemini for a second.
Gosh.
I don't know why it's all tangled up.
Okay, this is the mini version.
Right.
Now, the mini version, just to let you know, is no different from the rectangular version. Okay, except the size.
I think everyone's familiar with this. It's we've been shipping this for quite a while now. Yep. These are some of the port protectors I have. This is my personal unit. See, it says Brian on the back.
Was that episode 2 that we did a bag of tips and tricks?
Yeah. So I
episode 2. If you guys ever want to watch it, it's a great tips in it.
Oh, you mean podcast episode?
Podcast number 2.
Right.
Yeah. Brian we did a bag of tips and tricks, and it very, very useful.
Yes. One. So this is the unit. This is the hand controller.
Okay.
Right, comes and plug it in. A lot of people. So one of the things I just want to mention again is a lot of people sort of are a little bit. I shouldn't say a lot of people. I've got a lot of questions about this, but a lot of folks have asked about kind of the relationship between the hand controller and the Gemini.
Okay.
Because the Gemini, or I should say, in other systems, there isn't really a Gemini. Kind of all the smarts are in the hand controller, right? So you sort of plug in the hand controller and it goes directly into the mount.
Okay.
And the mounts have the motors and things like that.
Okay.
So in our case, the Gemini, this is the computer, right? This is like your computer.
Right.
And this is actually like a client. It's not required to run it. So yes, you can plug it in. It's got its own, it's got the same CPU inside of here, the processor, as this unit. I think it's an ARM processor.
Okay.
So it does its own thing, and then it connects, and it's just like if you were to connect your Windows computer or your Mac computer using Indy to this. It's just one more device that's talking to the Gemini computer. So a lot of times I'll run this if I'm running it completely remote and I'm just doing some imaging from the computer. I just don't use the hand controller.
Right. Okay.
It's sort of a big deal. So that's one thing I want to point out. Like, you don't actually have to use the hand controller to run the Gemini. In fact, right now I very rarely use the hand controller when I'm doing all night imaging, that kind of stuff, because you simply don't need it. Most of the time I'll use it for maybe doing polar alignment, something like that. And even nowadays I'm doing it much more simply. And
when you plug the Gemini 2 into your computer, there is a hand controller.
Yeah, there's a software hand controller through our Gemini Telescope.net, and there's actually even a web-based controller as well. So, but we'll get to that here in just a second.
All right.
The other thing I wanted to show, so I get a lot of questions about kind of so how do you actually plug it into the computer? And we're gonna do a session on this in our video tutorials, right?
Okay.
But there's a lot of questions about so you have this thing, like there's all these ports, there's all these various sorts of ports here. How does it actually work? You've got the auto guider port, you've got the Ethernet port, you've got two USB ports, port F, mysterious port E, serial hand controller.
It's like the holes in the dovetails that Scott says. Just put them there. You'll end up using them one day.
You may not use all these things, but I just want to point out a couple things.
Okay.
The auto guider port is for what are called ST4 connections. So we don't really use modern astrophotography or guiding doesn't really use this anymore. We use pulse guiding via ASCOM or Indy. And are you gonna sort of show this?
I can whenever you want me to.
Okay, let's see if we can do this here. Is this gonna work? Okay, here we go. Can you see that? Okay, there we go.
All right.
So very rarely do we actually use it. In fact, you notice I've got my a plug there, right?
Right.
So that's one place that people get a little confused about in terms of what you're supposed to be using.
Okay.
The other one is the serial or GPS port, and you can actually make a serial connection for your computer. But again, this is in this case that would be very old school type of stuff. You don't really need that. This is the hand controller port, so only the hand controller goes here, the graphical hand controller. So really what we're talking about is Ethernet and one of these two USBs.
Okay.
And it turns out that this USB, so really it's actually Ethernet or this USB. This big, we call it a square, it's a USB 2.0. It's also called a printer style USB port.
Yep.
Let me just talk for a moment about this USB-A.
Okay.
We've talked about this before, but in older units on the Gemini 2, it's labeled as USB-A. In newer units, it's called USB power. Excuse me. And this is just a power port. This doesn't actually connect to anything in the Gemini. But it's useful for connecting things that you want to power, relatively low power types of devices, such as...
Very nice.
Look at this. Oops. We got
your little
Sky-Fi, right? So the Sky-Fi also has a battery. You want to do the...
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
This,
okay.
Yeah, so we're going to try this again. Let's see how this goes. Whoops. Okay, so this is the Sky-Fi.
Right.
It does have a battery built in, but it's it's got limited. And then you have, and this is, by the way, a Wi-Fi adapter if you're using Sky Safari Planetarium software, right? But you've got a little power. This is a little power plug here.
Okay.
It's right here.
Nice.
And then we're going to take this. We're going to plug this in. And then what you would do is you would plug. Here, I'm going to do this real quick.
Okay.
So you would plug this into
that port.
USB-A.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
And then when we turn this on, here, you want to look at this?
Okay, excellent.
I mean, I know I don't need to show this. Everyone
I know, but yeah.
But I want to just demonstrate. Oh my.
Is the controller?
Why is it not powered on? Of course it's not powered on. Of course it's not powered on.
Okay, everybody, remember that we need to make sure that the cords are plugged in.
Okay, here we go. It was, the
Exhibit
power
A.
supply was not, we kind of had to whip this together at the last minute. So, but it will, there it is.
it
So
is.
it's on charging, right?
Oh, okay.
So here we go. That's just an example
cool.
of the way in which you can use USB-A.
Nice.
And by the way, there's more stuff coming. We haven't really talked about that, and we can't really talk about that. But there is going to be other ways to power other things from the USB-A port. It's just a handy way to have USB power. So that leaves us with Ethernet.
Okay.
We'll talk about in a second, but USB. And I want to point out, so there's a lot of discussion.
Is this where this microRouter would come in handy? This USB port?
No, it'd be the Ethernet port. Right?
one.
So you would actually use the Ethernet to connect to the microRouter. But I want to talk about the USB for a second.
Okay.
There's sort of a lot of discussion about the pros and cons of using one or the other port. And you do. This is really your choice, right? You either choose Ethernet or you choose
USB. Okay,
and
got it.
This sort of
Format.
square formatted USB port here.
Okay.
From a purely performance standpoint, like does the mount track? Is it getting guiding pulses, things like that? Getting commands from the computer, sending them back. There really is effectively no performance difference between these two. Okay. There are other differences, but you should feel perfectly fine using Ethernet or USB if you're just doing basic astrophotography and you're thinking about am I worried about, am I getting the best performance out of my Gemini mount? There's no difference between these two.
Okay, all right.
The thing I do like about USB is it's incredibly easy to use. And I'm going to demonstrate that right now. Right?
Okay.
So I'm going to take this. I'm going to turn this off. We're going to go to the POV camera.
Okay. Got it.
So I'm just going to, there's not enough room here, but I'm going to take this. So you want to point it right there.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to plug in the hand controller, which actually makes no difference at all.
Okay.
And I've got to take my USB cable.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and plug it in here.
All right.
Okay. And I'm just going to turn this on.
Okay.
And now I'm going to go to, this is my computer. And by the way, you'll notice this is a Mac. I'm running Parallels. I'm running Windows 10 on a Parallels virtualized machine in here. And it works great.
Awesome.
There's a couple little quirks that I haven't quite worked out. It's specifically around the Ethernet, physical Ethernet adapter and the UDP protocol.
Okay.
But basically, it's it works remarkably well. You can put
I can be done. Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and launch the ASCOM driver.
So can I ask you a question? We do get a lot of questions about people using the Gemini with the Mac, and just as you've mentioned before, amateur astronomy is in a Microsoft world, pretty much, right? Pretty much all the programs.
Historically it's been all Microsoft.
So, but if you do it, do it like this, is this basically using would it make those Mac customers happy? Mac users happy, or no, because you're kind of moving to a Windows platform?
Would people who own a Mac be happy running Windows in a parallel environment? Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
I just didn't know if it solved that solution.
I mean, people like Mac. I mean, I have owned Mac, right? I love Macs. But,
right.
We own Macs because we like the Macintosh operating system
Yes.
and everything else. So my point about this was not demonstrating this is a great way to run Windows software on a Mac. My point of this is that even on something as complicated as a virtual machine running Windows inside different hardware, this stuff still works.
It's still working great.
Right? So that's all I'm really saying.
Okay, perfect.
I could show a Mac version of this using Indy and some other
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
But what I want to show is just how, so all I've done is I plug it in via USB. I just go to Setup, Configure Telescope. I'm going to choose, will show me the COM port that's available. And if I choose Ethernet, it would, I would allow me to configure the Ethernet port, and it would be that simple. But all I'm going to do is I'm just going to choose the COM port. That's all I'm going to do. And then I'm going to click the connect button, and it's already connected. I'm going to cold start this mount, and it's connected.
Wow.
Right? So we're good to go.
Oh,
so I just wanted to show, it's really, really, really simple.
Wow.
Don't sweat. If it's not hard, that's okay. There's plenty of hard things in this hobby, right? But getting this thing configured
let those easy
and set
things
up
be
is one of
easy,
them.
right?
Yeah, there you go. So I just wanted to show that real quick, and there are benefits to using some of the other, to using the Ethernet port. So
okay.
again, I wanted to sort of show this real quick. I'm going to unplug all the stuff, Oops, I didn't click the disconnect there. But so the USB is probably the easiest to use. Okay, you sort of plug it in and get it going. With the Ethernet, you need to have you probably want to have some sort of router in between them. You know, you can do a direct connect with a computer, but at that point, I'm kind of like, you might as well just stick with USB for now. But the two advantages to the Ethernet port is that, number one, you get access to the built-in web server and web pages.
Okay.
And then the second thing is you can do firmware updates through the Ethernet port.
Okay.
Right, and that's not something you can do with the USB. There are other ways to do it, but as far as like built-in using, we have the Gemini firmware updater. You can use that, and if it's connected via Ethernet, it's kind of an automated way to do any sort of firmware updates here. So, just a brief conversation about kind of what's happening with those ports and Gemini, and hopefully it will just sort of simplify or sort of demystify some of the things that are going on with the Gemini.
Nice. Doing firmware updates, that is something most people can do all those themselves, right? It's pretty simple, or is it a little complex, or?
It's like I said, the way that I'm talking about it using the Gemini firmware updater is incredibly simple. You actually download an application, you just press a few buttons, and you're good to go.
Okay, okay. I get that question. I get people calling here a lot, and I'm just like, well, we don't really do them. So the firmware updater, that's what I need.
Yeah,
to
it's called the Gemini firmware updater. It's GFU. It's written by Paul Konevsky, who also wrote the Gemini telescope.net driver. It's a great utility.
Right.
It's available on our webpage at losmandy.com under technical support. We'll put a link to it down below in the description.
GFU, I've heard you talk about. Okay.
Yeah.
I like the acronym. GFU. Yeah, it's much easier than Gemini firmware update.
And no, it's not GFU. Just so you know. I know you want it to be that.
Oh my God. I love it.
Okay. So that's just some ideas about the Gemini and just some questions that have come up recently.
That's great.
Kind of talk through that.
Very, very good. I like that.
Okay.
Now we having?
What happens?
Oh my gosh! Yay! We get to have a cocktail. This is what we did when we called Scott last time and he came. So, Scott.
Okay, I think you could.
You're like Tanya. Calm down with the bell. I like my bell.
I know. So tell me what's going to happen, and then I know we need to reconfigure this cameras a little bit. But what's going to happen next?
Okay, Scott's going to come on. He is going to talk about his homemade bourbon, which I have tried one before, but he says this is a new batch.
Homemade bourbon. He makes his own alcohol now.
Oh yeah. Not only has he gotten into mixology, okay, but now he's making all of it too. But the last one I thought was really good. The bourbon was really good. One of our other workers didn't care for it too much. So this is going to be a new batch, and he's going to make not a Bloody Mary, but a Bloody Scott. Yeah. No.
Okay, but we're going to get, so Scott's going to come on. We're going to we're going to reconfigure these cameras, and then we're going to take it up from there.
Yep.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Scott.
Hello, world.
Hi. Thanks for coming on again.
Scott, can you put your microphone a little closer? Does that work on the other side there? Or is that
I moved it over here.
She moved. She's the one that did it.
My fault. Okay. Tanya, bad. All right. Scott, I called this the Bloody Scott. Okay. Let's talk about your homemade bourbon that you started. This is what batch is this?
This is the second batch.
The second batch. Okay. I
have
not
tried this. Is that the second batch ever?
That I've made, yes. Not the second batch.
Not the second batch that you've drunk. All right, I understand that.
I like the first one. My coworker did not care for it too much.
He has no taste.
I know, obviously.
Are we gonna name and shame, or what's the deal here?
What?
This coworker that didn't like it.
Larry.
Larry. I knew it was Larry.
I know, Larry.
Okay, so what is it? Is this the straight up bourbon?
Yeah, this
Oh
is
gosh.
bourbon.
You're not gonna drink that whole thing, are you?
You never know. I might.
Never stop
I don't know if I'll be able to get up after that.
Oh my god.
That's very good.
Is it smooth?
No, it is very smooth. Do you want to try it?
I
Yeah.
can't.
You've got
drink that
stuff
straight
to do.
stuff.
Hey, now what's the difference between this one and the other one? It's good. This one tastes a little sweeter to me.
Could be. Basically what I did is I purchased the cheapest vodka I could buy, was $10 for 1 3/4 liters. And then Larry bought me a bag of French oak, which is designed to put into some kind of spirits to convert it into bourbon, whiskey, whatever.
Okay.
So this is French oak.
French oak chips.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, like wood chips.
Yeah, wood chips, yes. And it's about I think a 2-pound bag for $10. And there's 3 ounces of the chips in the 1 3/4 liter of vodka.
Okay.
And it's been in there for 28 days. So right now, this is 28 days.
Okay.
And
Is that a long
I can
time or
feel
a little
that.
time?
it's little, I mean, overall, because bourbons and whiskeys and all that are going to be 2, 12, 25 year. But since you have so much surface area because they're chips, it goes a lot quicker.
As opposed to like a barrel or something like that?
A barrel will take you, could take you a decade or longer, depending on how old you want it. So if you just want to make stuff for the fun of making it, this is easy, doesn't take a lot of time, and it turns out pretty good.
Yeah.
So-
That's
so-
warm.
You're saying it's cheap vodka, and basically you're hot rodding it with some wood chips.
Exactly.
Do you make this stuff in like a prison toilet or something? I mean,
When were you over at my house? Wait a second.
it just sounds like the kind of stuff. And then
Right?
you go to the commissary and you get you get all the fruit and then you ferment it in a bag in the toilet. And
Yes,
I mean, no disrespect to this. I mean, this is,
it's a urine sample.
I know, right?
Okay, so can we get the
The POV.
the POV camera? And Scott, can you tell us what we got here on this table?
Also, first, he always brings a very cool antique glass thing. So,
we got
can
our-
we talk about this?
1950s
So fancy.
atomic
Deco
glasses.
stuff, right?
Yeah,
That
the
is-
atomic age.
Atomic age glasses.
I like those.
Yeah.
1950s.
Yes.
We had 24 last time, 1924, 1950s.
Yes.
All right.
So what we're going to do is just make a bourbon Bloody Mary.
Okay.
And the first time I've ever had one of these was up at a place called, I'll think of it.
Was it on your way back from Nevada or something?
Yeah, from Las Vegas.
Okay. I went to Las Vegas a couple weeks ago. It was fun.
I can't think of it. So the first thing we're going to do is take some lime
Okay.
and put it in here.
It's already looking good.
That.
Okay.
And then we're going to take our olives.
Okay. Which we love.
Any particular brand of olive there that you like?
Probably, but I don't know the name. I just know by
Okay.
the way it looks.
Got it. They look kind of like the
They're
nice
big.
beefy ones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So then we're going to pour in a little bit of bourbon.
Now, do you like putting, I always thought you put the mix in first for some reason. No, oh, okay.
Get on me with that crap, okay? It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's not that scientific.
Okay.
Then
Ooh.
we add in the Bloody Mary mix.
Okay.
I'm using this. I usually use Mr. T's Bold and thing, but they didn't have any, so I'm using
I like the
this one.
Zing Zang. I've had this before. It's good.
So they say it's good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
then I take a little bit of
Me and myself.
salt.
Salt?
Mainly because she needs salt like there's no tomorrow.
Oh my God. I don't need it. That's the problem.
And this is
I just like
ground
it.
pepper,
Little
some
pepper.
freshly ground
Yum.
pepper.
And then we take some Worcestershire sauce.
All right.
Put that in.
Okay.
Like that. And then
How are we going to stir all this?
with a piece of bacon.
Oh, you are just genius, Scott. Yeah.
So you take some bacon.
Everything's
here,
better with
See this?
bacon.
And
Did you know that? Everything's better with bacon.
Is that right?
then we just
Stir it. All right.
stir it up.
I mean, you're not being very delicate about that. You're just kind of just trying to get it in there,
Yeah,
and
I'm just stirring it in. Yeah, it's not rocket science.
you don't care if it's.
Now,
the idea
you-
is to smash it up, or
I don't know if you've heard of Scott, like how he cooks. He cooks on a barbecue grill.
well,
Everything. Like pretty much everything, right?
Everything.
Yeah. Pizza, his eggs, whatever.
okay.
So I just saw that this was cooked bacon.
Yes.
So.
Right.
So
Okay.
there you go. Here you got your Bloody Mary.
All right.
But it's a Bloody Scott. So I
Yes.
hear.
Call that, yes.
Call it a Bloody Scott.
That's what she's calling it. And
That's what she's got.
All right.
so
Here we
it is.
go.
Give it a taste and tell me what you think.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
That is good. You would be so surprised at how good this is.
And the magic, so the real magic, other than your sort of little bits and pieces there, is that you're using bourbon and not vodka.
Yes.
And how would you describe, what inspired you to do this?
Was this
That place.
That place, and if I can think of the name of it, can't think of it.
I know you told it it's a bar,
Yeah,
like in the middle of nowhere, right?
It's been there since 1913.
Right.
And it was where Clark Gable went when after Carol Lombard died.
Oh.
Sulk his blues away. And,
That's good.
And they made it with bourbon.
that's what they made with bourbon. It's been continuously open since 1913.
And this is where, somewhere in Los Angeles?
We're on the way to Vegas.
Oh,
maybe
way to
10
Vegas.
10 miles outside of Vegas.
Yeah, but it's
Got it.
like all by itself. Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Out in the middle of the desert somewhere?
Yeah. It's
You,
in the
go
middle of
off, you
nowhere.
get off the freeway, you go down the side road for about 10 miles. And right before it turns to dirt, there it is.
Wow, very cool.
Speaking, you said Clark Gable right after a woman died. You know what my brain went to, like right then, Vitello's restaurant near us, where
That's terrible.
well, the story is terrible, but that's where my head went. Scott and I live right next to Vitello's, which is an amazingly great restaurant. They have really good food. They have
It's an Italian
entertainment.
joint,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is so good. And I can literally walk there. I tried to drive there one time with my friend, and she was like, Tanya, no, we're walking.
And
It's a block away.
So now that we've talked about it, you want, for those who are interested, what is the Vitello's near your house claim to fame?
Is it Blake? It's where Robert Blake went.
Was
Yeah.
when theoretically he didn't kill his wife.
Right.
He was at Vitello's, so he frequented.
He was a regular at Vitello's.
Yeah.
And then
They even had a
he
dish named after him.
allegedly did something to his wife in the Vitello's parking lot? Is that right?
No, on the side street.
Side street. Classy.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so we got that. That's wonderful.
Yes.
there's a lot of people in the movie industry that live in Studio City where we are. So
Right.
because it's close.
We're in the thick of it all here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Place.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, Scott.
All right.
Yay.
Thanks everybody for watching.
And that's the bourbon of the day.
That
There
is
you go.
it.
And we'll call that episode 8.
Thanks everybody.
Cheers.
Talk to you soon. Cheers.
Ciao.
All right.
This is good, Scott. Yum. Really good.
Okay, I wanna
It's
just
a
give
great
you-
way to
have a
end the
sip.
day. It is so good.
Wow, that's a lot different than it's a lot smoother.
Yeah. Good. Can't wait to eat the bacon.